Today on A Commonly Good MTG, we're playing with Black 58, also known as Suicide Jack Black, because this deck is really hard on you, as hard as it's going to be on your opponent. If that sounds weird and interesting, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, a person whose playstyle is most often referred to in the tabloids as drunken, Dr. You Can't Suck It. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You Can't Suck It. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, posted by the MTGA-Assistant-Meta, called Mono Black 58%. So yeah, this is one of those meta decks that they end up posting. They said that it currently had a 58% win rate. We're going to see if we can make those numbers come true. 58 is good enough for me. Anything in the high 50s or higher, that sounds good, provided the cards look interesting. And we got a couple of new interesting cards in here. We got Cecil, the Dark Confidant, and Dark Confidant, part of the Dark series of cards being added to this, much like the Epic Dark Universe. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. Yeah, so this deck looks pretty much like your standard mono black mid-range. One of the interesting things is Rankle's Prank. And like I said, I'm calling this thing Suicide Jack Black. The reason why is because in pack of cards, there's one card called the Suicide Jack, who has a sword just jammed through his head. And so in this one, there are three like suicide cards. Actually, there's three suicide cards. There's four suicide cards in here. By that, I means that these cards do damage to you, sometimes in horrible ways. But can you overcome it? That's the question. So I'll try to point out the suicide cards when we see them. What do we got here today? We got Cecil, the Dark Knight, and whenever it deals damage, you lose that much life. How is this a card in here? But you get a pretty awesome dude for one. If you just don't... No, whenever he deals damage, you're going to deal it. That just sucks. Yeah, he flips over when you have less than, like 10 life or whatever. By that point, though, you're in danger zone of getting killed. Danger zone, Lana. All right, creature kill. We got the Dark Confidant. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card in your hand. Great. You lose life equal to its mana value. You could potentially lose 7 life at that point. That is not cool. Hopefully it's something in the small area there. I see like 1, 2, but still 4's got a lot in it as well. I don't need those kind of bombs in my life, but lo and behold, that's what we're playing. Creature kill. This guy does... it does 2 points of damage, and then they lose half their life minus, half their life's rounded up. That's fantastic. Who does he partner with? Bloodletter of Aclazotz, because an opponent would lose their life. They lose twice that much instead. And guess what? Half your life plus twice as much life equals full all your life. That's what it is. So that's the combo that kills everybody off. That's not new. That's old, but we're playing with it. Sheoldred, if you got it out, will gain you life whenever you draw a card, and we're doing a bunch of card draw. And it will penalize your opponent for drawing cards. So suck it. Thank you, Black Queen. Rankle's playing another suicide card. You can pick one or more of the following abilities, but the problem is every player has to do it, including yourself. Discard 2 cards, lose 4 life, or sacrifice 2 creatures of their choice. That card's hardcore, but sometimes it works. Virtue Persistence does -3 to a creature. If you get it out for 7, then you can start pulling creatures back from graveyards. Unholy Annex will draw you cards, but will lose you 2 life unless you got a demon out, in which case then your opponents will lose 2 life and you'll gain 2 life. So and also you can create a demon with it. So there we go. So what are our suicide cards? Unholy Annex, Rankle's Prank, Dark Confidant, and Cecil, the Dark Confidant. There's your 4 suicide cards. Other than that, we got 21 regular lands and 3 fountains, so we can put out some fish and potentially create treasures or draw cards. There's a lot of card drawing here, and we got a lot of creature kills. So altogether, it's a good, Mono Black is a good utility deck. Hopefully this will hold out. And even though we're hurting ourselves desperately, we'll be able to overcome it and win what we're doing. All right, so that's it. Now, before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush your enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, playing against ZuguZugu. All right, at least we can cut something down if we want to. It's just control, control, control at this point. It's still more control. I like the control. I don't like getting nothing but control. All right, 3. I'll try it. Unstoppable Slasher. You're not going to be able to kill it with green unless you got another guy out. Cookie bow! Alright, we're looking good with lots of control. We can just clear the path for the Slasher to do what the Slasher does best, which is half their life at a time. Cookie bow! Alright, I'll just have to kill it on my turn then. Alright, it's down to 3. Next turn we got lethal. Rankle's prank will force me to kill my own dude. That is a problem. As I flood the board. Oh, that just wins the game, man. There we go! Winner, winner! Victory dinner! Rank up! We are playing against the Banchou, whatever that is. That's plenty of mana, we'll go for that. Rankle's at 4. Keep. This guy is a big weirdo. Ooh, Bell put a 2. He's legendary. Alright, I guess I gotta wait. Hello, albino fish. There's some energon for you. I'm sorry, Cuber. Here you go, baby. Alright, let's see what he does. You want to jump in front? Nope. Of course, I lose my own life. That sucks. He's just going to do life gain. What do I got here? Ooh, I can put this out. Are you a demon? Nope, you're a human Knigget. I gotta worry. We gotta wait until this is chill. We'll just get this guy back. It's fine. I don't want to lose my life too much. We're gonna Unholy. We're gonna do Rankle's prank him. Get rid of his guys here in a second. You got anything secret on you? Nope, you're just wanting to let that go. Throw another guy out. Do it. There we go. Got a third guy. All right, well, we're just going to go for it. Let's see. Let's fish up. That's fine. I'm going to do 2 cards and 2 creatures. That sounds like fun. No and no. Because he'll be down to 1 card. That is pretty awesome. Plus, he'll be losing a dude. Maybe Rankle prank again on next turn. Just go after creatures, if that's what he's going to do. As I say, until your next turn, source deal damage permanent, deal double that instead. Great. All right, we're just cracking them out. Now we have the ability to get our dudes out. We got plenty of mana. We could put out a demon. We could turn on the card draw engine right after that. Let's demon up. Because that will start the vampire. Provided we can keep our demon out, we'll be looking good. Nice. Do I have enough to do all of the above? Let's just do this. This is what we really want. Oh yeah, I got enough. Great. Yeah, if I was him, I'd start peeing my pants right now. You're going up against a demon and Sheoldred, and you got all this going on. There's a lot of vampire going on there. Things are going to shift quickly. I can totally smoke that guy. You can return to your hand. It's a land. All right, good for you. You coming at me, yo? Yeah, it's Sheoldred. She's got a big butt. I see you didn't care. Smoke. We gotta spend some time, unfortunately. All right, there we go. Let Sheoldred stay back with her big butt. 18 and 11. Yeah, we have flipped the switch. And we win. Boom, boom. Goes the room. Boom, boom. All right, playing against Brain Juice, 88. Sounds delicious. 1, 2, 3. Control, and some stuff at 4. All right, all right. Try to hold it together. Hopefully it doesn't aggro us too hard. As long as it goes for a little tiny bit of aggro, not like a whole big swap and gang of it, we should be all right. All right, so I got 1s and 2s. We got a nice collection of stuff. Just got to get that 4th mana at some point. Does this psycho not have a pet? Twitchy doll, twitchy doll. I know, I feel bad for cutting that down. It's a good combo card. What are we feeding you? Twitchy doll, twitchy doll. It's not your fault. All right, let's go get her some cards, as one does. All right, I think I'm going to demon out next turn. We'll see what he does. I got the 3rd ability. There we go. Do I really care about this guy? Destroy target artifact. Beginning of your phase. Maybe we'll just... I don't know, we'll Bloodletter. Let's just do that. I like the idea we have some vampirism going on. Alright, 16 to 20. Alright, so the super combo is Unstoppable Slasher and the Bloodletter. He's got black. Just maybe he doesn't have what he needs. We can come out with a full demon on the next turn if we want to. What are you doing, fluffy dog? You just indestructible? Is that your deal? No. You just flopping your stuff around? Alright. How about I just kill that guy? How's that sound? I'll have 5 mana. We can unstop him. Oh, what a jerk. What a jerk. Alright, we can rankle it if you decide you're going to do something about the poor. Unstoppable Slasher's not bad because even if I kill it, it'll come back. I'm going to demon it. All right, he's got one card. We're down to 7. And even more, right? Perfect. You gonna start stealing from my graveyard? You don't have any dudes to put out? Is that the deal? You're pumping it, sure, man. And we win. I didn't think he had what it took. Victory! All right, we're playing against YungM. I played against YungM before. I recognize you. You're seen. Keep. Gotta turn off the lights, turn off the candles. Some things are important. All right, it's a rainbow butt. He gets to dance for me at some point. All right, we got the ability to control, but we need to get to 4 mana. Now it's 3. We need another black. Have your Jawas. What does this thing do? Creature you control have total of power 8 or greater. Mana! Let's just see. I can kill the stuff he's got. Should we just pick it off one at a time? Leave things open. That doesn't look very mercenary-ish. We can just kill it. Let's touch it with our icky finger. All right, we're going to go Bloodletter. As one does. I'm surprised his Bloodletter is not legendary. He looks like he should be. What are you doing, Slimer? Oh, that is just rude. All right, shoot the sheriff. Pow, 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 pow. Let's go for another Bloodletter. Can't play it. I need 3 mana. That's why. All right, I guess we're just playing control. Is this an instant? Nope, it's a sorcery. Keep looking. I can probably put a fish out. Pass to attackers. Let's fish up. It's a fish. All right, Sheoldred's going to be important. Let's get Sheoldred out. All right, 2 mana, perfect. Let's just let it go. Come on, we can do it. I gotta move my stuff as appropriate. Organization is the sign of a beautiful mind. Because, yeah, with this guy out here, I need somebody to get me life for drawing cards. Your slime is not going to last long, trust me. I would be pissed if I were you. I've just killed every single slime you put out. You had one chance to use it to kill something, but it was blowing smoke rings the entire time. There we go. Good game. And And we win! Winner, winner! Victory dinner! We're playing against Payton, 1999. Let's turn off the beastie. I don't need that guy's deal. Okay, he's playing life gain. This is gonna suck because we're playing like anti-life gain for ourselves. I might gonna just go full defense. Yeah, just take him, man. I don't care. I can say he's not too bad as a defense player. Alright, 2. This guy's gonna start hosing me over. This deck has a lot of creature control in it. I need it. I'm not seeing it anywhere, though, is the problem. Nope, we're not getting it. Alright, we're going to go for the card draw. We'll be pulling lots of cards. There we go. And I'm out of mana at this point. Let's just go and stop that guy. How's that sound? I should have probably blocked the rabbit, but I'm feeling like I'm getting a little light on life. Four. I'm going to go ahead. Let's just go for the knight. Or for that dude. Let's Cecil up. Alright, next turn we can get out a big old demon. That'll be fine. Ooh, I'm surprised you used that to get back that one guy. We're down to 4. Should we go for the full? He just has plenty to kill me with, so we're going to have to demon up. No attacks. Alright, at least we could block a flyer at this point. We got Death Touch crossed otherwise. Yeah, he's not going to like what he's got to go against here. If I let somebody through, it's going to be the Hinterland dude. All right, here we go. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. And we win. Somehow 37-3, we win. Victory! Alright, so here we are with Black 58. Black 58, yeah, it's just another mid-range mono black card deck. This time we were focused with some new cards. We got Cecil the Dark Knight, Dark Confidant. Rankle's Prank was being used, which I personally hate this card, but I think it did alright. If you're playing light on creatures and you're willing to slam stuff up later on, this is actually very effective. But let's just get down to it, though. How good were Cecil and the Dark Confidant? The thing about Cecil is that he was actually really good as a defender. You could attack with him, but the fact that however much deals damage, you lose that much life. So he does it back to you, and that just sucks. I'd rather just sit this guy as like a wall for defending. He's so cheap, 2-3 for 1 with Death Touch. I mean, unless I had some other reason to use him, which I don't have, he just was too much of a problem. Dark Confidant, another one, right? You good. Put him out for 2, 2-1. But the problem is that during your upkeep, yeah, he draws your card, but you lose life equal to that mana value. And that could be horrible for like virtual persistence. That would be incredibly bad. Losing like 7 life off of that thing. Oh, the humanity. I mean, if you get out Sheoldred, she can kind of offset it a little bit. This is a desperate gamble. A desperate gamble. Yeah, we played it. Yeah, it did very well. Were these cards the reason why it did so well? There was a lot of card draw in this deck. Lots of it. Maybe that's what won the game for us. I'd have to say Cecil, not as great. I mean, for a 1-drop, he's actually pretty fantastic if you decide not to attack with him. Dark Confidant, probably the secret. He just seems like you're about ready to kill yourself. It's just... like, it's almost like, what would I say, the black demon dude that he's got 4 counters on him and he doesn't have haste, and every turn you remove a counter, when you finally remove the last one, you lose the game. That's what Dark Confidant reminds me of. It's just like, yeah, sure, that's great, but Yeah, you're putting a gun to your head, and that's not how I like to play. But it was interesting, and he could have been the one that made this deck so successful. All right, let's get down to it then. What is this deck? Who is the MVP? Who's the most valuable player of this deck? I kind of felt like it was Bloodletter of Aclazotz. I kind of think it was Bloodletter of Aclazotz. The reason why is because Bloodletter got off a 4, which wasn't bad. It was a flying with a big old 4 butt, which was great. And if an opponent would lose life, they lose twice that much life. Great. That was, I mean, there's so much value there. And that worked out great with Sheoldred. It worked out great with the Unstoppable Slasher, which is a single turn kill if you happen to attack with the Slasher while you have the Bloodletter out. Everything works great and works better because of the Bloodletter. So I'm going to say the Bloodletter of Aclazotz is tonight's MVP. So congratulations, Weird Moth Vampire Demon. You are going to Disneyland. Congratulations. All right, was this deck competitive? The funny part is this is supposed to be a 58% deck. I got a 75 out of it, 75% out of this deck. So I'd have to say, yes, this did feel like a premium deck. I mean, we've been playing this deck for a long time. It had some new dudes in there. I mean, Rankle's Prank has not been in the mainstay, but it's got its place. It's got its place. You just have to be careful about what you're doing. Because this is like almost like Suicide Jack Black is what I'm looking at here. In fact, that's what we'll name it, right? Because the things you do to yourself with this deck are so harsh. But at least you're doing the same amount of damage to your opponent at the same time. Rough. It's rough. But yeah, but still, I got way better out of it than a 58. If you keep playing, is the numbers going to go down? Yeah, probably. I believe 58 is probably more where it's at. But still, I mean, it's got a premium mythic feel to it. It requires confidence. It requires luck. And I think you can pull it off. So I'm going to say, yes, this is a competitive deck. Number 2, was this deck fun? Yeah, it was great. I mean, the thing was by putting out Cecil and me just going to town on people with him, I found I did not appreciate that. But keeping him out as a defender, maybe he sucked up some creature kill. Because you know what? I didn't care. I really did not care at all if he died. In that way, it left the openings with less attacks against my other creatures. And I did appreciate that. I like the fact this thing is packed with creature control. Just look at it. We got like, what is it, 11? Yeah, 8 and 3 is 11. Yeah, that's exactly. And Rankle's Prank is also creature control. Just got to not have so many creatures out yourself. What's nice is that you can have Unstoppable Slasher out and then use Rankle Prank, kill your own Slasher. It's just, sure, it gets killed, but he's stunned for 2 turns. Big deal. That might be totally fine. I think that's good about Unstoppable Slasher. I feel like it sucks up a lot of damage, and they just keep trying to pin it down, and then it gives you more time to do the rest of your deck. So anyways, yeah, I thought this was a nice and competitive deck. I thought it was fun. I mean, obviously, it's black mid-range. It's a fun deck. It's good to go with. Love playing with the Black Queen. I love Bloodletter. I love, what else? Virtue Persistence, Unholy Annex. Yeah, a lot of these cards, great. It was a fun deck. Lastly, was this deck interesting? I'm going to say yes. What made it interesting? It was Cecil, the Dark Confidant, and the Dark Confidant, because dark cards are always interesting. Yeah, getting those new ones in from Final Fantasy, absolutely. Rankle's Prank made this into an interesting version of the deck. Some people can't stomach it. I'm usually one of those people. But I thought it made the deck more interesting to play with this. Like I said, this was Suicide Blackjack. And, let's go, Suicide Jack Black. And it was interesting because of that, big time. All right, so let's add that up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was this deck fun? Yes. Was this deck interesting? Totes my goats. All right, so, yeah, I'm going to give this deck, like I said, I can't give it an A+. The suicide part of it is just so rough. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm going to say it was just a straight A deck. It was a straight A deck. Super fun to play. But you got to be ready to handle the damage that you're going to be passing out onto yourself. All right, so with the Super A deck, I'm going to say if you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.